group that's easier to criticize in this topic are the ones pushing AI. But you have to just shoot at the PC players.
I want to shoot, Tom McDumbfuck in my comment section.
This is from Tom's Hardware. CPU requirements for. First of all, I hate this title. Like, you could trim it down. You could do something to make it snappier. You don't gotta.
People, listen. The whole article is in the title here, Connor. So how much of this do we actually need to read?
Right. We'll see. This is from Luke James. CPU requirements for AI workloads are multiplying, driving intensifying shortages and price hikes. Intel already shifting production from consumer chips to Xeon as interface workloads drive server CPU ratios back towards parity with GPUs. So we got to read the article because, again, tech language, these guys are nerds. Intel said during its Q1 2026
earnings call.
like
2 or 3 words in that, too. So
what?
You mispronounced like 2 or 3 words.
I know I did. But in their Q1 2026 earnings call, that the ratio of CPUs to GPUs deployed in data centers could tighten by as much as 1-to-1 in agentic scenarios as AI workloads shift from training to inference. Currently, 1 CPU is needed for every 4 to 8 GPUs in an AI server, but with agentic AI, I still don't know how to pronounce that, that shifts dramatically to 1 CPU per GPU. That shift has driven server CPU prices up by as much as 20% since March, with Intel already having confirmed back in October that it's prioritizing data center chip production over consumer CPUs to meet demand it can't currently fulfill. So, agentic AI, the difference between that from AIs like ChatGPT is it's not generative. It's AI that can kind of think and plan on its own, kind of the darker version of what AI is fear-mongered about, of being able to be more similar to Skynet. This is kind of that same path where it thinks a lot more on its own. I believe that's... No, I may be wrong about that. There was that story recently of an AI was refusing to shut down. I don't know if that was a generative AI model or an agentic one. It sounds like it'd be agentic because it's making its own decisions rather than just relying on something that already exists. But continuing, at 1-to-8 ratio, a rack filled with 8 GPUs needed a single server CPU to manage orchestration and data handling. But at 1-to-4, that same rack needs twice as many CPUs and 8 times as many at 1-to-1 Intel is already... Did I read that wrong? Where's that word really?
At 8 times as many... Well, I think the problem is that you skipped this paragraph here,
I don't
think that really matters that much. Shit's more... This AI is costing a lot more than
CPU.
Just GPU. Like we're doing a lot more. It's just requiring more technology, which is pulling more from the consumer base. So like we have less, so now prices are going to go up even more for CPU as well as GPU if this AI farm continues to grow.
And this is what we've been warning about, because AI in the gaming space, of course, this is more general, so you have to worry about this when it comes to a lot more things than just video games, but of course, we're a gaming podcast. And so, with the amount of price hikes we've seen in just this last year alone being ridiculous, I mean, PlayStation recently was their new price for their PlayStation console.
PlayStation 5 Pro is like $900.
Yeah, and they use CPUs, and is that going to go up if what Intel is warning about comes to fruition? Absolutely. And is this going to happen? With the rate AI has gone, people have talked about there's a bubble and it's gonna pop, and all this investment in AI is not going to be worth it. While I generally believe that, they're still investing into it, and it's still wasting supplies. It's still wasting things that could otherwise be given to the community, to the consumers, to make their products that they already have to pay a lot of money for cheaper, and it's only going to go up now.
Well, the thing about the bubble popping thing is it has to get so uncomfortable for the human beings who are spending the money to where they can't spend the money anymore, and we're just not to that point yet.
Yeah,
we're just not there yet. So eventually, listen, a new iPhone comes out every year. At some point, a new iPhone's going to come out and nobody's going to buy that shit. Mm-hmm. Because they're all going to be like, we can't. Because everything is too goddamn expensive right now, and your asking price is fucking ridiculous. Even if we had the money, we wouldn't like that price. We're just not there yet.
No.
What is that price? I don't know. It's pretty damn close there for me personally. I don't have a recommendation for someone who wants to get into gaming.
Not anymore.
Right now. I don't have a recommendation for them anymore. There's not. I guess Switch 2. I guess because that's still the cheapest guy on the market, and it's still like it's new technology, so it's gonna last you some time, and it's good enough to where it'll last you a good amount of time. You know, it's comparable to modern gaming consoles right now. So yeah, it's gonna last us a little while. You know, even though it is still on the lower end, but it's good enough, right? But that's still $500 fucking dollars.
And that's going to go up too. You
Yeah.
know, it's only a matter of time before they have to raise the prices of it because everything's getting more expensive on the computing side of things and everything. But
And I want to throw out there to you PC fucking nerds out there that every time we complain about price hikes in consoles, you just go, well, just get a PC, just get a PC. PCs are doing it too, motherfucker. Everything's expensive. You're just as fucked as I am, dumbass.
you know what the funny thing is?
Yeah.
The more group that's easier to criticize in this topic are the ones pushing AI. But you have to just shoot at the PC players.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. I want to shoot, you know, Tom McDumbfuck in my comment section.
Well, I don't know who you're talking about. But
no, I mean, the shirt is for itself. I'm inherently against AI in all cases. I just don't think we need it. I like even on the ways that it does benefit and help humanity. I just don't think it's necessary. At some point, we just got to stop asking what we can do and asking, should we do this? And I think we've gotten to the point to where the answer is no. We should stop.
And to kind of connect another thing that was being said, I can't remember who originally was making the point, but they used Capcom as their example of using AI tools without disclosing it. And we had also talked before about how a bunch of games, like I think it was like... Damn, I'm not even going to bother remembering the percentage, but a lot of games on Steam you have to disclose the use of AI. But even within that, I think it was 70%. I went back on my word. And within that, it was even mentioning how not everyone is being open about whether they're using AI. It was a Google executive.
Yes, Connor, yeah. So pulling from a VGC article, too many pop-ups, VGC, Jesus Christ, from Chris Scullion, in an interview with MobileGamer.biz, Google's Cloud Global Director for Games, Jack Busser
just
said a lot of studios use AI-powered tools to help with development, but a number of them are unwilling to confirm this publicly for fear of backlash, and you should be afraid. Booster said Google's own tools like Gemini and Hannah Banana Pro are used by some studios to remove the drudgery and repetitive low-value work. I quote, I think that players don't realize that their favorite games right now were already built with AI. Those games have shipped. We did a survey around Gamescom last summer with studios all over the world. Roughly 9 out of 10 game developers told us, yeah, we're using it. Who were those 9 out of 10 game developers? In what way were you using it? Like,
There's degrees to this.
I think Booster's argument is, I think he's skewing the numbers.
He might be, but it is also, I've seen it said a number of other times that AI is more often used than people are generally made aware of.
Well, I think it's a new technology, and the tech heads want to play with it. And I can understand that, and I can understand the temptation of that. I think it's wrong. I don't think we should play with it. I think we should leave it alone, and we should stop letting it grow. But they're going to play with it. And, yeah, listen, there's games all over the market, all over the map, that are using generative AI, at least in their concept phases, and are saying that they're going to replace it all. But then you get examples like last year's Clair Obscur Expedition 33, where after they had already become the biggest game of the year, after they had already won all of their Game of the Year awards, it was discovered that they did use AI technology, and some of those assets were missed and were not replaced until after it was noticed by the general public.
And
it happens.
And as AI advances, that's only going to happen more, and it's going to be harder to spot them when they do happen. And that's why I think it's kind of going back to Booster's comments. That's probably why he's saying it. He's notifying that people are becoming a little bit more comfortable about using AI, especially because so many companies are pushing it. I remember it was I think it was Ubisoft who was forcing.
That's like saying back in the 40s, hey, everybody's already smoking cigarettes. What's the big deal? It's killing us, motherfucker. That's the big deal.
That's before they knew. When did they know? I'm going to be reductionist about that.
It was sooner. It was more recent than you think. I want
to
say like the 70s.
Oh yeah, because I know my grandparents smoked and they did it for years, and then they was like, oh, it's bad, and they stopped immediately. Yeah. And that was like when their kids were born. My mom. So
60s, 70s,
60s, 70s. Yeah.
So we're just at the period of time where everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
Oh man, everybody's doing it, and this is why I also don't buy this. Oh, the genie's already out of the bottle argument. Like, you can put the shit back in the bottle.
Yeah, it's not one of those situations. You could have regulation. You could have company policy.
Exactly.
Games Workshop, the creators of the Warhammer figures, Warhammer IP in general, scummy company. They suck. They price gouge people to the high heavens with their stuff. But even they were saying, hey, we don't like this AI stuff. We ban it from our company. They just straight up banned it. You can't use it anymore. And so you can just do that.
There's just plenty of examples of like new technology coming around and humanity immediately pushing it into the wrong part, and then us course correcting and self checking ourselves. Fucking cars didn't used to have seatbelts. You know? Now it's illegal to drive without a seatbelt, or illegal to drive with someone not wearing their seatbelt.
It used to be a point where
now does that mean people still do it? Yes,
but even without that, I mean, seatbelts certainly helped. The way cars were made, they were basically just hunks of metal that had no way to shield the person inside from crashes. So it was far more common for crashes to happen and that to result in death. And so a lot of opponents of car manufacturing had a good argument back in the day, but that went away eventually.
Yeah, and I mean, like that's my thing about it is like we can make the argument, oh, Genie's already out of the bottle, accept it all you want. No, motherfucker, put some safeguards in, put some rails in, like legislate the fuck out of it so where it's like it's only used under a certain guise. You can't use it in a final product. I don't think AI should be used to create art on any stands, and I think AI should be, you have to license it, and it's expensive. You know, so like hospitals can license it to detect growths in your body that may or may not be there, or I don't know, something else along those lines. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just shouldn't be a free market thing. I shouldn't have access to it. Me, Tavin Bothel, should not have access to AI on that level.
There have been a lot of stories of even something as simple as ChatGPT kind of leading people who generally are lonely, have a lot of problems going on in their own life, to commit suicide or to I think there was one where someone committed a terrorist attack.
Well, it's machine learning. So like it's not Google, guys. It's not going to give you facts. And even Google doesn't do a good job of fact-checking itself, right?
Certainly with its AI system in place now.
Yeah, using AI as a search engine is inherently bad because it's going to learn what you want and start providing you with that. So if you start asking ChatGPT, should I kill myself? At first it may say no, but eventually it'll say, yeah, do it. Because it's looking to give you the answer that you want.
Yeah, it's an affirmation machine more than a learning machine or anything like beneficial.
It's what, like, dude, it's just not worth having. Like,
it's not.
It's just not. So y'all need to fucking learn. And you know, I get texts from my sister all the time. She works in a corporate tech company thing. And she's like, yo, the AI hysteria has taken full control. People don't know how to write emails anymore. And these are full-grown adults who have been around longer than AI, and full-grown adults who, some of them have been around longer than the internet.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do you mean you've lost the skill to write an email properly?
Well, that was the thing about the Ubisoft story. Part of it was not only just workers being made and forced to use AIs that would then train itself on their work to replace them, but he's even going so far as management was sending emails that were clearly written using AI. And it's just like, why do you do that? And like, it's a way to just kind of take responsibility for your own role and pushing it off onto another piece of technology. A more extreme example of that is its application in military uses, where it's more and more being used to identify targets and to make decisions that then can be used as blame on the AI rather than the person who allowed that AI system to make those choices. The removal of agency with AI can lead to a lot of evil. You know, and the banality of evil is a term that gets thrown around a lot. AI is a good way to cause that to happen, being the normalization of evil, where it's just secondhand nature. Oh yeah, of course we decide that this school should be bombed or this location should be bombed because the AI said so. Oh, we accidentally did it with a school. Well, that was the AI's fault. You know, it's an easy cop out for a lot of people to use. And if they use it for emails, they can do it for a lot worse.
I hope there's enough pushback to where this fight will be won.
Pushback, maybe actual results from that pushback? Two different things.
Well, you're right. But I've seen more and more pushback against AI as we've continued to have this evolving conversation. And here's the thing. I don't think it goes both ways. Once you're on the, I don't like AI train, you don't get off that train.
Yeah. It's, I guess there may be some people that do, but I couldn't really imagine those people as human thinking people.
The most AI that I use is when I search something on Google and Google Gemini gives me my first result.
Yeah.
And depending on what I'm specifically looking up, I'll do further research. But if it's something that I'm like, it doesn't matter where I get the guide information for Bloodborne.
Yeah,
you know, I'm like, all right, there's 3 bosses in the DLC, or there's 4, whatever. There's X amount of bosses in the DLC. I learned that from the Google Gemini. That's fine. But it's when my dog has diarrhea and I need to start Googling things. That's when I'm like, I don't give a fuck what Gemini says. Give me a fucking veterinary website.
Because they are wrong. If you consistently search things up using that AI function, double check on another source, and you'll, not all the time, but a good enough time to not trust it, find that the AI was just wrong. It just gave you wrong information or confused it with something else.
I have found, confused it for something else does happen. But I have found a good amount of the time the AI is just giving me the same information, but it's not worth taking that risk, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Unless it's for something like I'm playing a video game and I don't know how to get out of that part. You know, then it's like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But when it's like, hey, I need to figure out how to do my taxes properly. Or, hey, what is the law for how long I can have my car registration be expired?
Look up that yourself.
Yeah, fucking read.
Go to the DMV. I know they suck.
Hey,
my
dog just shit blood. Is that a problem? Yeah, it's a problem. Fucking deal with it.
For that point, if you shit blood in any context, it is bad.
It is bad.
It's probably like some context.
I mean, it's like one of those things of like, is it a one-time thing or is it recurring?
Yeah.
And then, like with dogs, the big cue for dogs is, does their behavior change? If the behavior doesn't change, then give it some time, and eventually be like, all right, this is a problem.
Yeah.
But like Ahsoka's gotten like food sickness and has been like went on like a 3-day bender where she just was throwing up all the time.
Mm-hmm.
For like 3 days she was doing that, and I was Googling every day. I was like, when should I do this? When should I do it? And they were like, does she have an appetite? Is she drinking water? Is she lethargic? And I'm like, she has an appetite. She is drinking water. She's not lethargic. She's probably fine. Just let it pass. All right, I'll let it pass. And she's fucking fine.
Yeah.
These things happen. I didn't let the AI tell me that. I let somebody with a fucking doctorate degree tell me that. So it is what it is.